Here we have a SAT math problem. Okay, let's go to the question. Negative x square positive kx negative 3786 equals to 0. In the given equation, k is a positive integer. If the equation has no real solution, what is the greatest possible value of k? Here we have a quadratic equation. Let me consider a quadratic equation standard form. That is a ax square positive bx positive c equals to 0. When we have a quadratic equation in standard form and it has no real solution, then the value of the discriminant b square negative 4ac is less than 0. Here we have a quadratic equation standard form, that is in this form, and this quadratic equation has no real solution. Then the value of this discriminant b square negative 4ac for the given quadratic equation will be less than 0. Okay, now to get the value of b, we have to consider the coefficient of x. Here the coefficient of x is k. Let's plug in this k for b over here. Then we get k square negative 4 times a is the coefficient of x square. Here the coefficient of x square is a negative 1. Let me plug in negative 1 for a. And c is a constant term. Here the constant term is a negative 3786. Let me plug in over here negative 3786. And it has to be less than 0 because for the given quadratic equation there is no real solution. So the value of this discriminant has to be less than 0. Now we can use Desmos to get the greatest possible value of k in this inequality. When I try to solve this kind of implicit inequalities in Desmos, Desmos will accept either x or y at the place of unknown. Here we have k. So at the place of k, we have to use either x or y. Usually we use x. Once we get the value of x, that can be taken for k. Okay, now let me give this inequality as input in Desmos. At the place of k, I'm going to take x. That is x square negative 4 times negative 1 times negative 3786 less than 0. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, here let's consider the two x-intercepts over here. Okay, so in Desmos, this is a minimum value for x and this is a maximum value for x, and here we have a dotted line, here also we have a dotted line. That means these two values cannot be included. That is, x in this inequality can take any value between this one and this one. Actually, we have taken x instead of k, so that means k can take any value between this one and this one. So that is k is less than this positive value. Let me write it over here. K is less than 123.06096. Here we have an information, k is a positive integer, and also we have to get the greatest possible value of k. So now to get the greatest possible value of k and also k is a positive integer, we have to consider the first positive integer which is less than this value, that is 123. Therefore, the greatest possible value of k is 123.